welcome everyone. Today, as you may know, is the feast day of St. Francis, which is such an important saint and it influenced so much of church life and had such a deep devotion to Jesus and to creation. So he's dearly beloved, and today is his feast day, which is a wonderful thing. So we are going to our opening prayer today is from the season of creation. Today is the last day of it. It goes from September 1st on the World Day of Care for Creation to the Feast of St. Francis on October 4th. And so Kim Eglund is going to offer our opening prayer. It's a season of creation prayer from Ireland.
Peace with creation. Creator of all, we praise you for the gift of life, for the faith that unites us in care for our common home. We confess how estranged we have become from one another, from your creation, and from our truest selves. We acknowledge that our greed and destructive impulses have fractured our relationships with you, with others, and with the earth. Fertile fields have become barren, forests lie desolate, oceans and rivers are polluted. Thriving communities have become places of suffering, and the earth cries out. Beloved Christ, who spoke shalom to frightened hearts, stir us to compassionate action. Inspire us to work for the end of conflict and for the full restoration of broken relationships with you, with the ecumenical community, and with the human family and all of creation. Prince of Peace, through your wounds, teach us to stand in solidarity with the woundedness of others, of creation, and of the world. Through your resurrection, make us people of hope, with a vision of swords turned into plowshares and tears transformed into joy. May we come together as one family to labor for your peace, a shalom where all your people may dwell in safety and rest in quiet places. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Kim. I would also like, as we're starting out today, to honor the Native American tribes that have lived historically in the place that we now call home. Native peoples have inhabited our region, the Helena Valley, for 20,000 years. And Lewis and Clark explored this valley and found this land 225 years ago. So they had a long history before the likes of most of us showed up. The maps from that time show the Helena Valley as part of a big common hunting ground. So that hunting ground was used by the Blackfeet and Gros Ventre from the north. It was used by the Salish and the Pend Oreille from the west. And in fact, if you go up Rogers Pass, there's an interpretive sign that talks about them coming, the Salish and the Pend Oreille coming over the pass to use the common hunting ground. And it's the Shoshone from the south and the Crow from the east. So members of these and many other tribes live here to this day, and their traditions, culture, philosophy, and spirituality can enrich our lives in many ways and have much to teach us about protecting and caring for creation. So I want to welcome you all. Thank you for coming. Maybe almost all of you, probably all of you brought food, and it looks delicious. And so we're very happy to have you. It's just great to have everyone here. And I want to thank our parish staff and members of all four ministries that collaborate in putting this on every year for all the work that they have done to make it happen. And so, again, happy feast day to St. Francis. You may notice here this beautiful art piece that we have on display, and that was made by a member of our parish, Maureen White. And I was asking her what the story was, and she said, I've made a lot of them, but I've sold them all, And then I decided I would like to have one for myself. So I made another one, she said, because I love St. Francis. So it certainly is a blessing. Thank you, Maureen, for letting us have it here with us tonight. So our opening prayer was about care for creation and the season of creation in the World Day of Prayer for Creation, which starts on September 1st. Pope Leo has chosen to emphasize creation care in his papacy and to emphasize in particular the season of creation. The brief history of that is that in 1989, the Orthodox churches, Eastern Orthodox Church, started this season. Their year runs, as I understand it, their church year runs from September 1st through August 31st. So, and they begin with Genesis. So a creation care naturally flowed out of that. It is now a global ecumenical movement. And the Catholic Church was involved for years, but it was formally joined the care for the season of creation in 2015. Pope Francis made that happen. And now Pope Leo is really building on that. He created, as some of you may know, creation-themed Mass that he actually did the first one, I think, in July. And he also, his theme for the World Day of Prayer for Creation is Peace with Creation. And I just love that. It just says so much about living in harmony and respectfully and simply. And so this is really something he's doing. His prayer for intention for the month of September was for our relationship with all of creation. And here at St. Mary's, we had some special music, which those of you who went to Mass heard today. Catherine Greiner had picked that out to go with the themes for this Sunday, or this weekend. We had prayers of intention. Michael Sipe and Barb Keegan work on those. And we've also had bulletin articles. So our parish diversity celebration is currently honoring St. Francis, St. Kateri, and Servant of God, Nicholas Black Elk, and all of the green saints, canonized or not, as patron saints of members of creation. Creation, the flora, the fauna, including human beings, and physical elements like the mountains, the ocean, the stars, the rivers. So the idea for this particular display, which will be up, we put it up the 1st of August, it'll come down at Thanksgiving, was this book called Green Saints for a Green Generation, which kind of makes you think of like, you know, aliens or something. What's a green saint? So they have an aura? I mean, what is it exactly? Well, and this is written, all of the authors are between 35 and 45, I think, or 25 and 45 years of age. And so some of the saints are Catholic, some are not, some are canonized, some are not. They're all people who care about creation and either have used it in their spirituality or taken actual active action, including martyrdom, to protect parts of creation. So it's a great book. And what we have over here, which was part of the parish diversity celebration, is quotes from all of the popes. So our popes, some are canonized and some are not, but they're all green, and none of them are aliens. And since Paul VI have very actively protected and advocated and educated around care for creation and creating a sustainable, livable climate themes. So it's a very strong thing in our church. So in this book, the definition of a green saint, the whole idea of the book is that we all can be green saints. In fact, a lot of us are without even knowing it. So here you go. We are all invited to be green saints, loving the world God created, appreciating its beauty, and acting for its flourishing in the face of violence, thoughtlessness, consumerism, rampant greed, and climate change. And that's a quote from the book. So we have many green saints here at St. Mary, and I'm going to give the microphone to two of them right now, and they're going to introduce two more. So the two I'm going to give the microphone to are Joe and Helen Beausoleil, and longtime members of our parish, and very fine people. I don't know what else to say about you guys. They're involved in everything, I'll tell you that.
Well, greetings, Green Saints. As Sandy just said, we are all invited to be a Green Saint. So I am sure that at every table here tonight, there is a Green Saint. We just need to recognize those that are here tonight and those that you may know. Do you know someone who prays for creation, prays for the care of our earth? Someone who advocates, someone who takes action, maybe by recycling, repurposing, someone who owns an electric car, someone who uses solar energy. Who are the green saints in your life? They're sitting at your table, I bet. Or perhaps our parents or our grandparents that modeled environmental practices before it was even a thing. Before it was talked about. The display back there says it all, but we truly do believe we're all called to be green saints, and I would highly recommend reading this book. It's kind of a fun book. So at your table, you have ribbons, and what we would like you to do is to write on those ribbons the names of green saints in your life at your table. So that's one task, okay? And then we are surrounded by all kinds of creative chefs, right? Have you liked the food? and we invited the chefs to enter a contest. And so what you have to do in the center of your table are some tokens. Some are purple and some are pennies, because we ran out of tokens. So as the evening goes on, just quietly go over and place your votes next to the dish. And I really hope the right dish is next to the right. But anyway. And also at your table tonight, we have an opportunity to give a donation to World Central Kitchen, a nonprofit, non-governmental organization that provides food relief around the world and currently helping in Gaza. And then the centerpieces. The flowers and the herbs in those centerpieces all came from the Jubilee Garden. And so you're welcome to take them home. Not the pots, because I repurposed the pots for next year's dinner. But we have some plastic bags you can use to take them home, so feel free to do that. And I don't know if you know this, I learn something about gardening every year, but there's a yellow flower, I think in almost every one, that's called a calendula. I didn't know calendula is edible. People make lotions out of it and teas. So that's your little gardening tip for tonight. And now Joe. Well,
Go back.
that's.
You wouldn't believe how often this happens at home. So, one thing I just wanted to point out real quickly is our parish is really striving to be green, and in what we've done. Like, I don't know how many of you know this, but we converted all the lighting in the church and all our buildings to LED lights. And just alone, the lighting in the worship space saves us over $3,000 a year in just reduced energy costs and consumption just with that. And we have solar panels that we put up over on the east side of the Jubilee Garden. Those solar panels power completely the rectory and our office building. And we're actually looking into the feasibility of maybe putting more panels in and powering part or all of the church. So we're really trying to do stuff like that. So, and this is just something to the guys. I just want to know if this kind of happened to you. In preparation for tonight, I wanted to be kind of a green safe. So I put on my new green pants. Okay, and you know, green. And so I had a green shirt too. And so I put it on. And I come out of the bathroom and Helen says, "Oh my God, no." You know, can you imagine what would happen to me if she came out of the bathroom and I said that to her? So anyway, now on to more serious things. As you came in, no, I don't want that. You give me all mixed up. As you came in, you probably saw Jack. Jack is our pumpkin that was grown by Dave over in our Jubilee garden. And you all have a chance to win a prize if you can guess how much Jack weighs. You're free to lift him up if you want. There are little tabs on the table back there. You can write your name and the weight that you think Jack is and put them in the little jar back there. And then we'll give the prize to whoever came closest a little bit later. And then, this is really cool. Earlier this year, our Jubilee Garden was given an award. It was an award from the governor's office. The Serve Montana Award is what we received. And it was from the governor's office of community service. Every year they single out around eight different individuals or groups throughout the state that they give an award for, people or groups that are selflessly giving back to their communities. And this year, FoodShare nominated us at the Jubilee Garden to receive that award, and we did. And you might want to come up and look at it. It's just beautiful. But we got this because of all of the work and all of the produce that we have been donating to Helena FoodShare. And Dave will be up here in a moment to let you know how much that really is. It's just phenomenal. And so we're really quite proud that we received that award from the state. And now I want to introduce the next two people, who are Nina Heinzinger and Dave Kraniker. Nina is our garden manager. And this is kind of cool. I want to just point out, Dan McKinty is sitting over here. He was the first garden manager we had. He retired and Nina took over for him. And Nina is the first, both Nina and Dan are master gardeners. And they help all the people in the garden who need help in knowing what to grow, how to grow it, what's wrong. They've introduced watering in the garden using drip irrigation instead of handheld or sprinklers. And that is amazing how that has helped the garden produce even more because of the way the watering works. So Nina is really a helping hand and works tirelessly in the garden. And Dave, he is the guy that came up with the idea of helping FoodShare. When we initially built the garden, it was a 10,000 square foot garden. And we were running for about 3 years or so. And Dave approached us on the maintenance committee and with the idea of maybe expanding the garden and putting in an area where we could grow produce primarily for FoodShare. And so the maintenance committee we talked with Father Richard at the time, and we went ahead and built an 8,000 square foot addition onto the garden. And that's where the majority of the food is now grown for FoodShare. And it was because of the vision of Dave and Nina that we've been doing this. And so now I'd like to have Dave and Nina come over and say something. And Dave can give you all kinds of information on how much we actually give to food share.
Yeah. So Dave's going to share some of the numbers that we've been able to produce here over the years from the garden, from its humble beginnings.
Yes, this was a bumper crop year. For the first time ever, we passed the 7,000 pound mark. We are currently at 7,161 pounds, and that does not include the pumpkin back there that's going on.
But we won't tell you how much it was.
Right. This is also the end of our first decade as a community garden. During that time, we have donated over 42,000 pounds to food share. So it is a phenomenal amount. This community is just outstanding. The need is great. Between June of 2024 and June of 2025, usage of Helena Food Share went up by 265%. Between June and September, it went up another 35%. So we read in Matthew 25 how when we see Jesus in the hungry, okay, we don't need to look far. Of course, we all believe in the Eucharist, but we also see Jesus in the marginalized. And that is how we can all love one another. And actually, I found a shirt. None of it didn't dress me.
I gave up on that a long time.
I found this T-shirt that I just thought encapsulated everything that Jesus meant. Love one another.
But we wouldn't be able to produce all this food without the volunteers and the gardeners at Jubilee Garden. So I would like all the gardeners and volunteers to stand up for a moment, those that are here. Stand up. We'd just like to acknowledge that we had over 900 hours of volunteer hours this year at the garden, with everybody working very, very hard. We have a few super volunteers. Arnold up here in front, amazing number of hours almost every week. We've got some other ones, Patty back there that shows up for harvest almost every weekend. So there's a lot of people who make it happen. A lot of our gardeners donate from their own gardens. So the numbers are not just from the areas that we have, but a lot of people in this room take and give part of their crop to Food Share. And we can sit down. So there's a lot of sharing there. Thank you everyone for all that you do. We've had students from Carroll who have come to the garden as well. Usually a group in the spring and then another group in the fall that come. Dr. Schaefer brings his class over and they help us prepare in the spring and then usually strip tomatoes in the fall. And it's amazing what 20 to 25 students can do in an hour and a half. That's a lot of hours that we don't have to do that. So we just really appreciate everyone who helps out to make this happen and to feed our neighbors. Because that's really what we're doing, is we're feeding our neighbors when we are able to take them really fresh, organic, not 40-day-old food, but fresh, organic the next day, sometimes even the same day that it gets there and it goes right out on the shelves. So.
And just to put those hours in perspective, those 900 hours, that's about 6 times. I mean, there are 9 community gardens in Helena. We're one of 9, okay? Those 900 hours is about 6 times the rest of them combined, okay? So this community kicks butt. All right. From an environmental perspective, we repurposed over 1,000 of those wonderful fruit containers, sent things back to a Food Share. I don't know how many cardboard boxes, enough that Costco yelled at us. But you know, so we were able to give a lot of things a second life. So please support Food Share. I'm sure you saw the auction upstairs. Bid often, bid early, okay? All right. Don't try to get a deal. This is not the time to get a deal, okay? That's what Amazon is for, okay?
Thank you, everyone.
So you're probably getting the idea of everybody being a green saint, right? It's working out. The last organization that actually initiated this spotlight years ago when we started it is the St. Francis Peace Through Justice Ministry. And it's based on Catholic social teaching. Somewhere down here we have a poster with all of the Catholic social teaching themes, which also include care for creation. Pope Francis added that. So this ministry is also based on the corporal and spiritual works of mercy. We pray, educate, act, and advocate to advance social justice issues and address social concerns with a particular emphasis on solidarity and a preferential option for the people experiencing poverty or vulnerability. We currently help with refugee resettlement. Catherine Penegard organizes that for the ministry. And the main thing we do is drive families to Food Share. And the main thing they buy, these are Afghan families and one from the Congo, and the main thing they buy is fresh produce. And so it's really cool to be there and do that. And we currently also, we have two projects coming up soon. We are doing an Adopt a Highway project that Christy and Larry Irwin organized, and that is next Saturday morning. You come here at 8:30 in the morning to get oriented and then go out. It's really a lot of fun, and it ends with a barbecue, and we always do, and it looks so good, so it's really satisfying. It looks better than the ones around it. We're out by Rimini on US 12. If you're going by, honk and wave. So anyway, when one time, a couple of years ago, somebody found a $100 bill. So who knows, but they put it in the collection. So that's what kind of group we are. So the other thing we have coming up is we have a Good Samaritan group volunteer day. We've done that for a couple of years. We're moving toward doing it twice a year, and it's good for families even. And I was going to mention that I took my granddaughters with me to take families to Food Share, and actually we took the Congolese family, and the two kids that went are the same age as my granddaughters, but my younger granddaughter, who's 10, I just want them to see it. So this is what we do, this is what a food bank looks like, da-da-da. And the younger one said, I think I'd like to volunteer in a place like that when I grow up. And so it's really good for kids to be involved in volunteering and doing something bigger than themselves, and just learning about kind of how the world works here with some of the inequities and things like that. So if you want to find out more or participate in any of our activities, please ask me or any of the ministry members that are here. Our ministry members brought most of the main dishes that are over there as well. So, and now, what you've been waiting for. The panelists we have tonight are going to touch on a lot of these themes, I think, and bring a lot of things together. So we are so blessed to have Carroll College in our town and to have such talented professors from Carroll College as part of our church community. And I'm talking about Dr. Catherine Greiner and Dr. Jeanette Fraguglia. And so they are here with some of their students who will share important experiences in their lives, maybe from service learning, maybe from something else, things that they've learned about the world, about themselves, and about culture, about solidarity, about social justice, about spirituality. And I think these students are fabulous, and I'm just meeting them for the first time tonight. And the reason I think they're fabulous is because Jeanette and Catherine tell me that every time I talk to them. So, please, welcome. I don't know who's coming up, Catherine and Jeanette, and they will introduce the students and enjoy this presentation. We're so pleased to have you guys here.
Yeah, I do. Okay, absolutely, 100%. I'm just gonna hang right here.
Hi everyone, I'm not going to introduce the students because, well, and recent grads. Should be clear, we've got 2 recent grads and 2 current students, and they're going to introduce themselves, but I do want to say, we sent the email, we tried 4 people, and we were like, okay, if they can't do it, we'll find more. We've got others, no problem. There's a deep bench. But these 4 responded immediately, and we're so excited to be a part of this. It doesn't hurt that I was able to say church potluck, right, for college students. Didn't have to make dinner tonight, right? So anyway, who would like to start? And then I think what we should do, just so that everyone can hear and see you, if you can stand and give your little talk and then pass it on to the next person. Think that'd work? You two. Okay. Have Mango first and then the young women.
All right, Doug.
All right. My name is Dago Migaro. I graduated from Carroll on May 2024. I was a major of business management marketing. I am originally from Ethiopia. Came here to Missoula, Montana first, almost 4 years ago. And now I work at Carroll. I also played soccer at Carroll, and I work at Carroll. I am the Alumni and Community Engagement Coordinator.
Hi everybody, my name is Megan Nicolati. I'm Dogma's wife, we're married. And so I graduated in class of 2022 from Carroll, and now I'm also back at Carroll as the assistant to the presidents, because we have 2 of them this year. It's been going good, more the merrier.
Hi, I'm Mary Knight. I'm currently a senior. I'm graduating in December. I'm studying political science and international relations. And last year I was in Milan, so that was a really great experience.
Hello, I'm John Goodwin. I'm a junior at Carroll. I'm an environmental science and English writing double major, as well as a history, music, and sustainability triple minor. I've lived in Helena my entire life. Play organ at the Episcopal Church. So yeah, thank you.
All right, here's what we'll do. We're making this up on the fly, everyone. Why don't I ask a question, and then you can each respond to it, and we'll get the ball rolling that way. Does that work? Could you share with the group one or maybe a couple experiences during your time at Carroll that has shaped or transformed how you see the world, and however you want to interpret that? Is that the question?
Since I'm an environmental science major at Carroll, one of the big things I learned when I first came into Carroll, I was kind of, why do we need recycling? Like, how does it help us? And my lead professor, Dr. Patricia Heiser, has been absolutely amazing, as well as our facilities team. And she encouraged me, as well as a few other students, that recycling is important. And I realized that, I could also make money for this by bringing aluminum cans to Pacific Steel. And so we started the recycling program on campus, and it's been really great. We're slowly trying to get expanded. We're only so far doing a few buildings right now. We got a few other volunteers that help me. but it's been a lot of fun. We also are trying to get our sustainability minor pass as part of our Laudato Si, or the Pope's Laudato Si proposal, which is absolutely amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully my class, cross your fingers, will be the first class next year to be able to try it out and go through it. It's going to be service learning based from my understanding, so we're going to be doing a lot more community work and volunteering than class time, which I think is really important because usually at Carroll, and as other colleges are, you're in class a lot, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Unless you guys. Okay. One of the things that I was thinking about when Dr. Greiner first sent us like the email was all of the different like churches I went to while I was abroad, and just all of the similarities. Like we truly are a Catholic church, and that doesn't just mean like Roman Catholic Church. Like there's so many different rites. In Milan, they do the Ambrosian rite. I visited Lebanon and like attended services in the Maronite rite. And it's just like so easy to walk into any church that is Catholic around the world and to know what's going on, to know what comes next, and that source and summit of our lives, like the Eucharist, to have that anywhere you go in the world. And so, yeah, when I was thinking about like what changed my worldview, it was seeing how like I visited so many places, it was actually bad. But yeah, just like in Africa, in Cameroon, in France, in Lebanon, in Turkey, like everywhere, like the Mass was the same, the Eucharist is the same. And I just found that like so beautiful. And then to come back to Helena and still have that. Yeah, so thanks for having us.
All right, yeah, Carol. The original question was just how it's impacted.
An experience you had at Carroll that maybe changed your worldview. How are you different now, having gone to Carroll?
Yeah, so this one, Doggy might touch on it a little more, but at my graduation we had someone who went to Carroll, Ray Kuntz, who's also a donor, and he talked about in his graduation speech how he wanted to start a program to bring students over to Carroll from countries that had just been impacted by war or are currently going through wars and they're not able to finish their education or whatnot. And then as I came back and whatnot, to actually see him follow through on that program. Carroll's now helped and brought in over 10 students from Ukraine and Ethiopia and some from Mexico. And so just seeing people follow through on these promises they say they're gonna make that are just almost seem bigger than life, that's been really important. And that's kind of Carroll. People are always there and they always just follow through. We're really lucky to just have the community we do.
So when I first came here, I attended the University of Montana for just a semester, because that was my first school that I got accepted into, because I didn't know anything about Montana, I didn't know anything about college in America or anything. So it was great. I had a good experience. Then I play soccer back home, so I looked into places in Montana where there's a soccer program, and that's when I came to visit Carroll. So it was a great visit because everywhere I walked into, like, people were really smiling. People were like opening doors, and people were like just, hey, how are you? You know, I don't even know them, but like that smile, that welcome, it just feels like natural and real. So that's when I immediately decided that's where I wanted to go to attend my undergrad. So what really changed me about Carroll is the people and the community. That also includes the Helena community. Because Megan mentioned, like, I'm one of the students that got that support from Ray Kuntz. He's also a Carroll grad, and at the same time, Carroll, like in general. Just sometimes, I remember I came here and there was like, you know, Carroll, it's expensive schools, especially for people like me, like who pretty much had nothing in this country at that time. So I remember there was a time that I had to leave Carroll because I couldn't afford it. But he was a stranger to me. I didn't know him. Like nobody knows me at Carroll. But everyone in financial aid, my professors, the college president at that time, like all the donors, they all rallied in and helped me to stay at school and finish my undergrad. So that's something that I received for free, and that taught me like to give back to the community, like something that I received for free. Like, you know, even the Bible says that that you receive for free, you should give back for free as well. So I try to do a lot of community things, like including Big Brother, Big Sisters. Try to coach. I was a goalkeeper, so I try to coach some kids for free as well. Because the mom asked me like when she's like, I can pay you. I was like, I don't need it. I received all these trainings at Carroll for free, so I have to give it for free. So that really changed the way I see life in general. And yeah, it's the people in the Carroll community, and including the Helen as well.
All right, I have one more question. And then we'll see if they have any questions.
So 2 recent grads who've come back to Carroll and are working tirelessly, I might add. Megan, I think, is running the school up there in St. Charles, Florida. Don't you think, Doggin? Yeah. She keeps Jen in line. Jen and Ed come to this parish as well, and she keeps Jen in line and troublemaker, yeah. And 2 future grads right around the corner coming. You're gonna make it, Mary. I believe in you. What gives you hope right now in the world and for your futures and the futures of your friends and for the world right now? What gives you hope? Where are you finding hope?
You know, I'm finding hope. When I go to school, and one of the great things about Carroll is, especially that we have our core classes. So you're taking majors, whether it's business, marketing, environmental science, biology, taking STEM and humanities and slamming them together in these classes, and you get to have really interesting discussions. And also we have our honors program, which Dr. Grinder does an amazing job advising for us. And in that program, it's, I would say, some of the smartest and best people I know. And what I've found is we come from very different backgrounds, very different political, religious ideas, whether they're Catholic or not, and very different majors. And what I've found is we all can come to an agreement on different issues. And we don't have to be angry about it, get in like a raging argument about it, but we can talk about it like normal people. And at the end of the day, we can come together, go to dinner at my house, go to dinner at Shelley's Cafe, and chat about worldly issues. And at the end of the day, we're also really good friends, and we all probably have a better idea of other people's positions, and they often change our positions. So I'm really hopeful that, especially see it in my generation, that we're gonna, not stop being so divisive, and we're gonna come together.
I guess what's giving me hope is like how much our generation is willing to like get into the community, and like especially volunteering. And I know every time I sign up for like a service Saturday or whatever, and I'm like, wow, I'm so great. I'm volunteering. Like everybody I talk to is like, I'm here every single day, and I'm like, wow, you guys are amazing. So I just like that people are so willing to like get out into the community, and it inspires me to do better. But yeah, because I think it's so important. Like humans are social creatures. We really need each other, and we need to like support each other beyond like financial like obligated. Like I don't want to just have to go help somebody because I'm getting paid for it. Like, you know, we should be helping each other because it's who we are, it's who God calls us to be.
Yeah, so hope. Mine kind of touches on as well what John was mentioning. Normal has kind of become my highest compliment anymore. If I consider someone like a normal person, it is so refreshing to talk to when you're kind of more in the middle instead of just, it's so easy to get divisive. One thing that's given me hope just in the immediate months is when we shifted to 2 presidents at Carroll, one of the first things they did was invite all the Carroll employees. They had us go through and make small groups of them by department because they just wanted to have listening sessions to see what's going on. And I think that's one of the most hopeful things you can do is just listen to one another. Even if you can't fix it, you can listen. And it also showed the importance of just starting with the person next to you. Is it Mother Teresa who says, I can do small things with great love, right? So I think we just need to focus on helping the people around us because it's so easy to get caught up in what's going on federally, what's going on nationally, even statewide. But it seems like, especially this community, you're so good at helping your neighbors right here in this room. And then the more people you help, it just avalanches and it just builds like a snowball. And suddenly you have, how many pounds of food was it going to Hellman Food Share? 7,000 this year. And was it like 40,000 total over the decade? See, that gives me hope. You guys are a very hopeful community.
So right, like it's a tough time right now for a lot of people, including me, whether you're into politics or not. It's really a tough time as a nation, with a lot going on. But the hope is always the people. Just like Megan mentioned, like, hearing this gives me hope, somebody who, you'll have a good life and you can just, if you decide to live just for yourself, you live like, you'll do just fine. But just thinking about the people who cannot afford to eat, I sometimes go through, like I always mention to Megan as well, like sometimes you'll see even on the local Facebook pages, like, people, it's just sad. For example, like if I tell my families back home and if I say, there are a lot of people struggling in America as well. Like there are a lot of people who cannot afford to eat. There are a lot of people who cannot afford to pay rent. I don't think anybody would believe me. Like they will probably say, no, like you're lying or you're exaggerating. Like that's what they're gonna say. But it's true. We have a lot of people that need our help. And sometimes people don't come out and ask for help. That's also the toughest part of like this, so just this gives me hope, like people not just thinking about themselves, but thinking about the others, thinking about the community, and thinking about those who need our help. Like Carroll is my biggest example, like starting from my supervisors, professors, like everybody, like when they do something, they just don't think about themselves. They think about the students, they think about the community and all that. That gives me a lot of hope, especially in this tough time. And like Megan say, like, just loving one another. What's the good if we say we love God and that nobody's saw God in person, right? Like, and we don't even know. I mean, the Bible tells us about God, but nobody knows what God looked like. But we say we love God, but if we don't love our neighbors who are in person with us, even though we know them or not, as a human, we gotta love each other. So that gives me hope. That's hope for me.
Well, I know you all probably want a chance to talk to one another at your tables, but is there any pressing question out in the audience for our young people up here?
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
You want the mic? No, I don't need that. So true. They give me hope. They are my hope.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they should get some dessert because there aren't any left and these are 4 hungry children.
Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you so much for coming, John, Mary, Megan, and Takim. Thank you for being here. All right, go get some dessert.
Helen reminded me that it would be good to invite you again to write on the ribbons who some of the Green Saints are, and you in our parish, well, wherever, it doesn't matter, including Carroll College students, I guess. And you can also nominate yourself, so that, and then vote on the food so that she can declare winners. She wants to declare winners. So I want to thank Jeanette and thank Catherine especially, and particularly the Carroll students. Thank you so much for being with us, and you do give us hope and inspiration. Thank you. And feel free to visit with yourselves. The night is yet young.
I've got something really important.
Joe has something really important to say. Your attention, please.
Okay, this is the result of how much Jack weighed. Okay, nobody got it exactly, but we had it pretty close. Dan McKinty came within 4 pounds. Douglas came within 3 pounds. And Diana Yotis came within 1 pound. She guessed 100. Jack weighs 101.